Hey, this is Jeremy and Zan, and you're watching the Lotus Boxers.
Lotus Boxers here. You got Jeremy Bertarioni.
And Zan Syed.
And Zan, is there something you'd like to show our audience?
I got this trophy.
Oh my god, where'd you get that?
I got it in New York.
New York. Syracuse.
Yep.
Zan, guess what?
What did you get?
I got this plaque.
We are killing
Lotus
it.
Boxers. We've been killing it lately, and we brought the hardware home from Syracuse, New York. Basically took everything they had to offer.
It's true.
Yeah.
So what did you play?
I played Blue-White Control in Modern with 4 Narsets, and we're going to get to that later in the week. But for now, Zan, what is the deck that won the Open?
Jeskai Walkers.
All right, and I know a lot of people have been asking you a lot of questions about Jeskai Walkers.
Yep.
Probably they've been asking about certain numbers, certain sideboard guides. So we want this video to be where you send them. So let's just dive in, talk about this deck. It won an Open. You won an Open. What's going on here?
All right, so this deck is a completely new archetype. It's Super Friends. I mean, it's existed in the past, but not with these numbers. We never had this many Planeswalkers before, so people didn't know how to combine them and et cetera, but we found the perfect balance.
Great.
And that balance included Narset, Teferi Time Raveler, Saheeli, Karn, Sarkhan, Big Teferi, and Legion Warboss, which is a secret planeswalker.
Secret planeswalker Legion Warboss. You find him in the sideboards. And Zan, when do you bring in the Warboss?
Pretty much against any control deck, blue-green Nexus, because you need a faster clock. You need these counter spells to back up a threat that's just dealing an incredible amount of damage really fast. It also works really well with Saheeli because you can copy the Legion Warboss and get another token and mentor, etc., which is just a huge blast.
All right, so this is a Jeskai Super Friends Planeswalker deck. What people don't know about this, right? The reason I believe you won the Open is because actually this is a creature deck, right?
Yeah, it is.
And that's, I'm going to let you already won the Open. We're probably not going to play this again at the next week. So let's talk about this being a creature deck, because people don't get it. They see blue and red and white together. They see a bunch of planeswalkers, and they're bringing in the Elder Spell. They're bringing in a bunch of negates. Why doesn't that work?
Why does that not work? All right, so yeah, throughout the week when I was testing this deck, people just kept saying Elder Spell, like it was supposed to mean something, but it never meant anything.
Never means anything.
Because all of our planeswalkers gain their value the moment that they come down. If they've resolved, you gain their value. You have the ability to do that. Narset, replaces itself.
Finds a card.
Yep. Teferi, you can minus and draw a card. Saheeli doesn't get its value immediately, but if you have Mox Amber or a spell and the lands to cast it, you're gaining its value almost immediately. And it has 5 loyalty, which is just a ridiculous amount. And then Karn. Karn is a difficult one because you're so tempted to plus and gain that card advantage back. But something I found when I was playing against Elder Spell decks is you just want to minus.
So this is really funny because when Karn was first spoiled, I said somewhat cryptically, I was like, people are just going to minus. And I was living with Collins at the time. Collins was like, what? And I was like, people are going to learn Karn make a 1/1 is like the play pattern.
Yeah.
It's secret.
We're still living with Collins.
Right. We still live with Collins, and that's great. But now I'm living with a bunch of people. So it was when I used to live with just Collins.
Yeah.
I said Karn's always going to make dudes. Yep. And, people were like, what? Jeremy, what are you talking about? I was like, trust me, dude. Karn's always going to make dudes.
But people never did.
It was a mistake every time.
Yep. I agree.
I did really well at an invitational with green-black once, and all my Karns just made dudes.
A good example at the Open was I played Sarkhan, and my opponent had a Teferi, so I could have easily just plussed and had my Narset and Saheeli go and kill the Teferi. But I was like, I'm going to make a dragon, copy the dragon with Saheeli. It's going to take a little bit more loyalty for me, but I'm going to take that route because what am I playing against?
The Elder Spell.
Exactly. And so when my planeswalkers eventually did die, what was I left with? A dragon and a bunch of tokens.
Yep.
So those are choices that you have to consciously consciously make in order to beat the Elder Spell. But it's very easy to do once you start thinking like that.
So the Planeswalkers, we know what they're doing in here. What about some of the other stuff? We were playing Deafening Clarion, really useful against the red decks and the aggro decks. You just sweep up the board. Another hidden mode of Deafening Clarion, probably the strongest it's ever been.
Yep. Give your creatures lifelink.
And what are your creatures?
Sarkhan.
Yeah, 4/4 dragons.
Saheeli tokens, Karn constructs.
Of course.
There were multiple times in this tournament where I was at 1 or 2 life. I was like Deafening Clarion, wipe your entire board, give my Sarkhan and all the dragon buddies lifelink, and be back at 24 or whatever.
24.
Yep.
Go. And they're just like, well, hold on. I want to talk about an aspect of this deck that I didn't think would be as completely nuts as I saw it during the tournament, and it's not here actually. It's down in here.
Yeah, Mobilized District is very, very good.
It just seemed completely crazy. Every time I saw, they couldn't get in, or it was a control matchup, and you could just activate it for free and get in for 3. It was just.
You can copy it with Saheeli. You have to activate it again after when you copy it with Saheeli, but
sometimes that's free.
Yeah. So Mobilized District, Celestial Colonnade, actually better than Celestial Colonnade would have been if it was legal in Standard.
Sorry, I accidentally added a Woodland Cemetery, but it's gone now. Interplanar Beacon, useful.
Yep.
We're playing a bunch of Planeswalkers. This gains a bunch of life, which is good against red decks, and also.
This card is not fair.
Okay.
It is a card that has made the Planeswalker deck, Planeswalker shells, unfair because there are a lot of monocolored aggro decks out there that just can't compete against this card. I remember I was playing a game and my opponent played a Downto Vanguard and I was like, I can't beat that. But then I went Teferi, gained 2 life, bounce it, and then he killed my Teferi. Then and played a Vanguard, and then I did it again next turn, again, until I played all 4. And then next thing I knew, I could like double spell and triple spell, and I was gaining that card advantage. And my life was staying the same because I was actually gaining life because he would attack the Teferi.
Yeah.
So at the end, I was like, I'm at 26, and I have so many cards.
And I have a dragon.
And then all of a sudden, you play Sarkhan, you make a dragon, and they're like, attack the Sarkhan, and you're like, trigger, all you guys die.
Yeah. Well, you didn't always do that, but when you did do that, it was very powerful.
I didn't make that mistake once, but it didn't matter because the deck was just busted.
Yeah, you won anyway. All right, let's talk a little bit about the sideboard. We already mentioned the Warboss. What else you got in here?
So we have Lava Coils, and that was a last-minute addition because of the Blue-Red Phoenix deck. We had heard a rumor that it was going to be popular at this tournament, and that matchup wasn't supposed to be good. And then once we added the Lava Coils, everything just came together. They also can't beat Lyra. Lyra is a very difficult card for the Blue-Red Phoenix to beat. So a combination of Lava Coils, Prison Realm, and Lyra was just doing it.
Yeah. Let's talk about this next card. And I just won a Modern Classic with Blue-Eye Control. So I can say something about this card. This card has changed every single aspect of spell-based matchups. It's Dovin's Veto.
Yeah.
Dovin's Veto, to be honest with you, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I played in the Classic, and I played against like really seasoned control players, people that have been playing control for a long time and knew the ins and the outs of the matchup. Yeah. And they would be just like playing lands, not casting anything. I'm kind of just following suit because I don't really know what to do. And then finally they like examine the board, and they're like, Jace. And you can tell that they left up like Dispel logic. They're like ready for this fight in ways that I just don't even really comprehend. And I was just like, I'll veto it. And they're just like, oh. Yeah. It's over. You should have just jammed it on 4. It's just going to get vetoed.
Yeah.
It's just the end of the conversation.
It is. I agree. I mean, in Standard, it's not much different. Against cards like Elder Spell and other Planeswalkers, when they don't have access to this card, it's just absurd.
Yeah. You didn't have the veto, and I did. The veto is the reason to be playing white, I believe, with your blue right now. I honestly really just have it. I think that this card... It doesn't make sense to me why it was printed. Why did they make negate so good?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Sure, I'll play it.
I'll keep playing.
Prison Realm. I saw Evan Whitehouse, who also played the deck, go ham with some Prison Realms.
Yeah, Prison Realm is absolutely perfect for this deck. It's the hero's downfall that we needed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool interactions because a lot of the blue-black base decks play thieves. So there was a point at which my opponent took a Sarkhan. I Prison Realmed it, bounced the Prison Realm back to my hand, and I had the Sarkhan.
Great.
So this card was really great, and it does exactly what you need, and then it has the additional ability of scrying, which I absolutely love. Legion Warboss is a secret planeswalker, like we talked about.
Yeah.
A play that happens often in this format is bounce your creature or your token or whatever, or bounce nothing and draw a card with Teferi.
Yeah, and the Warboss comes in to kill it.
Exactly. And there was a match I had where my opponent attacked me with Thief twice, and I played Legion Warboss, and it just won the race. My opponent was just like, the cards I'm getting from your deck aren't going to deal with this Legion Warboss. It was absolutely incredible. This guy went the distance for sure. And your opponents are often bringing in Dovin's Veto, and you go Legion Warboss.
Yeah, they just, they see the Jeskai deck, they take out their creature removal, they're not playing Shock anymore, right? And then you're just like, Legion Warboss hit you, and they go, oh, well, it looks like I've lost this game. It really is almost instantly, right? Like, you just lost the game.
Yeah, he's really the Warboss. And Deafening Clarion, just for...
Makes sense, you an additional Deafening Clarion. 2 Lyras, just a general strong creature. Basically, she's an angel with armor made of stained glass.
Yep, she was broken.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, she was just Baneslayer, normal. But that's it for the deck. Let's jump into some games.
All right, I'll see a game. Let's see you just won an open. Let's see if you can win some matches on Arena. All right, here we are. Play first, I assume.
Yep.
Most formats. Okay, so what do we have going on with this hand?
We can cast our Teferi. We can cast the Mox Amber. It will make only blue or white, but we cannot cast our Strike. But this hand has a manland and the ability to cast most of our planeswalkers. So I would say keep.
All right, let's keep it. I also would have kept this hand.
All right, Hallowed Fountain, go.
So Stomping Grounds, what are we thinking?
We are thinking green Gruul aggro.
Okay.
And we continue to just jam an Interplanar Beacon because we can't activate our Mobilized District for a while anyways. Our opponent doesn't play anything, which is absolutely fantastic. Now we get to gain 2 life.
Probably good against any red deck.
Yep. And we will probably...
I like just taking up. Chain Whirler, right? I mean, come on. It seems like it'd be weird to lose ours.
I agree.
You don't want to cast the Mox Amber?
It seems better to hold it.
In case we draw Saheeli. A lot of reasons. You're right. Oh no, we almost lost our Teferi anyway.
Yep. It having haste is actually pretty great for us because now if we draw red, which we didn't, but so I think we start off with Karn plus.
I thought we wanted to just make dudes all the time.
We do, but we are missing our red mana, and a land is something that they would be willing to give us quickly. Oh, there's red mana.
Nice. And we do play the Mox Amber here to hold up Spellpierce, right?
Yeah, it's very unlikely that they will cast
A Chandra.
Cast a spell before they kill the Teferi Time Raveler, but you never know. Please cast something.
Well, even if they kill it, we still have the Karn.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
No, but it will no longer make blue mana.
Oh.
Alright.
These are
Legion
the Mox Amber plays that I didn't know about.
Okay, so we have our red mana. We can do a couple of really cool things here. We can make a construct.
Which would be a 2/2.
Yeah, which would just be a 2/2, which I wouldn't be that happy with. We could lightning strike this. I really want to find a Clarion, so we can protect the Karn to find it.
Okay.
So we're gonna plus. Hopefully we start finding some good cards. All right, we got a Sulfur Falls, so now we don't have to play live for that. So let's say we played this.
Mm-hmm.
We bounce what? The Legion Warboss?
Probably the token and strike the Warboss.
Warboss striking the Cruel Breaker. And make them play the Legion Warboss again, which would mean only... They end up with 2 tokens, but the tokens really don't matter.
Okay.
So we're gonna do this. I just want their whole next turn to be gone. Alright, so...
Sulfur Falls.
Yep. Sulfur Falls. Let's tap this and this to go ahead and kill this because it gains
Hexproof during the turn, yeah.
Yep. And then now we're good to go. So Legion Warboss is most likely coming down. Or we get this Spell Pierce this.
Yep, Spell Pierce is good because he has to pay it. Wow, this is really good actually.
Yep. Alright, so we have a Teferi underneath here.
Mm-hmm.
Which will gain us 3 life.
Mm-hmm.
But he attacks the card. This is great.
Great.
He attacks the Teferi. He changed his mind. Alright, and we draw Saheeli. So right now Teferi seems like the place to be.
I like Teferi Tika.
Yeah, and then we get to leave open our Mobilized Districts.
Great.
Mobilized District costs 2 to activate. Yeah. I will be happy with that. Mobilized District.
It's not leaving it up.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, because we're going to untap with Teferi.
Yeah.
Nice.
It only mattered if he wanted to attack the Dominaria. And we're at 28 casually.
Casual 28 hasn't done any damage to us in his creature aggro deck.
Kind of scare him. To mobilize districts, hopefully.
He has one of his own.
Nice. I'm glad this is starting to catch on. Mobilized District has really impressed me. Legion Warboss. Double Legion Warboss.
Yeah, we need that Clarion.
It's time. I feel like we've waited long enough.
Yep.
Alright, Teferi survives. My turn. Spell Pierce. That's rough. So over here we can minus Karn now. But I'm really looking for spells. We only have one option with Teferi, so we'll do that first. Hopefully we hit a spell. We did not. We're running lower and lower on options. But one thing that I do see that's clear to me here is that we play Saheeli with triple Interplanar Cleanser. Sometimes Alright, so we gain 3. We're at 31. Just casually gaining a lot of life. And so a couple of options I have are, I think I'm gonna activate So something else I could have done was make Mox Amber a construct token.
But Armory.
But I felt like our opponent would not trade off the Legion Warboss.
You just take up Karn.
Yeah, I think tick up is correct. And we hit a spell.
Nice. Wow, I can't believe he gets the opt.
Yep, and we get to untap as well. These guys having haste is just not fair.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But one of the best parts about this
You want to
deck,
spell pierce this?
I do.
Turn it in for a construct. Probably not going to be able to favor as much else.
Yeah, I'm down for that. And 2 of his mana. That's no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my fight.
It's fine.
Alright. They're going all over the place.
Yep. Except for us.
Okay.
So let's opt.
Let's figure out where they're attacking first. So 2 of the Legion, the big guys are at
Karn.
This is a Saheeli.
Oh, the smaller guy, Karn. Teferi.
Okay.
So we could save the Teferi, or we could kill one of the Legion Warbosses.
Well, I think the clear option is that we start off with a off, because if you see a Clarion, that changes a lot of things in our equation. We did not.
So I would kill the Legion Warboss. Oh, wow, I didn't even notice this.
Okay, so I think we need to save our Karn.
Okay, we can save the Karn pretty. We have to block 2. I don't know if we can.
So
yeah,
this is at Karn, right?
Yeah.
And this is at Karn.
Yeah. See if a 2 is going at Karn.
This is where
Teferi.
This is where
Karn. So block that. 2-1, and the Karn will be a 1. Yeah. And then this would save Karn.
No, it would put Karn at 1.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you would take 5, or you take 3. You go to 3, I guess.
Okay. Let's just get rid of these guys.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so we start off by minusing, bring back our Sarkhan, playing this Interplanar Cleanser, not tapping. Minusing. Activating. Even though we haven't drawn well, we're still in this game.
Great.
We haven't drawn any Clarions. We've gotten really flooded, but
I like how we've killed 2 Legion Warbosses already.
yeah. Oof, that's really good. I mean, this means we lose all of our Planeswalkers, but we're 1 Clarion away from stabilizing.
And we're pretty deep in our deck to find a Clarion.
Yeah. I mean, the card that I've really been looking for is Narset / Stick Through Time. It's just really easy to just take over the game. You just chain Narsets into Narsets. Dragon's gone. Having the Carl Harper in our main deck and having it at that right moment was pretty unfortunate. But we're at 34, so no worries. Oof. Okay, well, I'm worried now. Okay, there's a Clarion. We're doing stuff. Alright, so let's start off with the Clarion. Alright, the board is going.
If we play a land, we can use our Mobilized District to attack Chandra.
Alright, Chandra is at
3.
2.
Well, it's going to be 3.
Shock. I'll go to 27.
Shock you. Really, yeah, we're 27.
Oof, that's
a good
really
one.
good. That's really good.
Yeah.
It's a good blocker. So now we take 2. Alright. Play a tap land, go. It's gonna be pretty hard to come back from this spot, though.
Yeah, I think the Growth Chamber Guardians is 4/4s. We don't really have a way to deal with a bunch of 4/4s in our deck, per se.
Right, yeah, as of right now, we don't. We have no Lava Coils. And I mean, drawing Narset right now would just be really. It would allow us to chain Planeswalkers, and we have 4 beacons, so it'd be gaining 4 for each Planeswalker, which would be kind of nice. All right, let's see what we get.
Be a good time to shock the Guardian.
Yeah, shocking the Guardian. Yeah, this is lots of damage.
Okay, this game got a little out of our hand. Would you say that we drew a lot of lands? I feel like we drew a bunch of lands.
We did.
We drew 12.
10, 12. And there's one under Karn too. There's one in the graveyard too.
Mm-hmm.
So 14. There's a Sarkhan. Sarkhan might do. So one thing Sarkhan will allow us to do is have a threat that can help us deal with Chandra. Also, the trigger will allow our Mobilized District to trade with one of these 4/4s.
Great.
And it gained us 4 life, so pretty happy with that. And the reason why we haven't given up yet is because we can still win through Narsets.
Okay.
Okay. It's time to concede.
It's time to concede, everyone. How do we board against the green-red monsters deck that's seeing a lot of play?
Alright, let's check out our sideboard. So, Lyra seems like a great addition. Lava Coil, Prison Realm. Clarion seems pretty medium. So, I think we can start off by boarding out our Clarions. Strike.
Yep.
And Strike seems pretty medium as
Spell
well.
Pierces seemed bad.
Spell Pierces are really bad. And I think the Mox Ambers are gone. We might be able to keep in some number of
Clarions for giving all our guys lifelink.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with 2 Clarions and 3 Shocks.
That's what we got.
Alright.
Done.
Well, this hand is great.
Hand's great. We have a Teferi.
We got all Ramada. We got Interplanar Beacon. Not trying to play that.
I don't want to opt this turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this tapped. I always like to start off with Steam Vents because it allows us to cast all 3 of our ones, which are Spell Pierce, Shock,
And Lava Coil. Opt.
Spell Pierce, Shock, and
Opt.
Yep.
Let's opt right now for a shock.
bottom.
Oh, we bottomed a land too.
Yay. Ooh, I like Narset a lot.
You like Narset more than Teferi?
I think I like Teferi more.
What?
No,
Why?
no,
Yeah, I don't.
I like Narset. Reason why is because I really felt like our opponent had the shock, the lightning strike. Ooh, Teferi time.
Okay.
Oh, no strike. Our opponent does nothing this turn. I think we are in great shape. Yep.
Game's probably over. We got to use Narset twice. Pick up an opt.
Yeah, I'll take that out. I'm gonna opt first.
Okay.
Reason being is if we hit a specific land, I'm not gonna take that. If we had hit an Interplanar Beacon, I would have liked to gain the land. I'm gonna gain the life. And yep.
Let's try again. Opponent stuck on 2 lands, but you know, we didn't show too much of our sideboard text. I think we're good to just ship this one right back.
Yep, let's do it again.
I went 10-1 on Sunday.
I went 9-0.
Wow. Which one of those records is better?
Mathematically.
Yeah.
I know.
No, more points.
Okay.
Let's mulligan.
Yeah, we got a mulligan this.
Our opponent should have mulligan. They kept a 7, I think. This one's good. It has an Narset.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep,
That's
I
what
love it.
that's what was missing.
Ooh, elf? Okay, bye elf.
You gonna shock it?
Yes. Goodbye, elf. Alright, hopefully they just kept a 2-lander.
Yeah, it was a 1-lander actually. They needed the elf to cast Rampant Growth.
Oh no, we need another one. Oh no.
This is bad.
This is real bad.
Maybe we saved the shock.
Oh no. Turn a Domri would have put us to bed. Oh my god. Alright, Clarion, please. What an aggressive start. Alright, so we're looking for Clarion. We know what we're looking for. We'll gain the life. Replace itself with a Karn.
Opponent, Forest, Chandra.
Wow. This is quite the start.
I mean, you know, you just
1
been
drop,
curving out.
2 drop,
Yeah,
3 drop, 4 drop.
Maybe.
Alright. Opt.
No. Mm-hmm.
Let's try it again. Gain a life. I think we're dead. We are dead. Let's see if we would have found it. Nope, never would have found it. Alright.
Concession. Alright. So that was that. And that was unfortunate. But maybe the metagame is already adapting to beat Planeswalkers. Or
Yeah.
more likely, we just drew a bunch of lands.
We did draw a bunch of lands. But I will say that this past weekend, preparing for the tournament was one of the hardest standard formats I've ever prepared for.
Right.
Basically, there was new information every single day, like Andrzejowski's.
Command the Dreadhorde deck, which we legitimately thought we were going to play for a long time.
Yeah, but it felt like it was too untuned.
Mm-hmm.
And we needed to figure out the best build, which is a task that's not actually possible for 2 days
or whatever.
But this deck is something that I was working on for a while with Lee McLeod, and I really liked a couple of his takes, and it wasn't until Thursday night where some Goldfish Leagues came up and they verified some of the ideas that I had, that I was able to combine all of it together and create this bad boy.
This bad boy, one of the best week 2 decks of all time.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I think it's not close. All right. So if you have any questions, this should be the video that defines the answer to all of them. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We just had a huge kick after you won the tournament, and of course I won my tournament. So if you're new, welcome. Hope you like our content. If you want to know what's going on in Standard, what deck to play at the Open, we're the best in the business right now.
Yep, Lotus Boxers, Team Lotus Box.
Yeah, and the deck list for you guys that need to copy and paste it are going to be in the description down below. And I think I'll just see you next time.
See you next time.
Lotus Box, now powered by Coreboard Live, is proud to introduce you to all of its sponsors: Introspectv, Red Handed Art, and MTGO Traders. Use the code LotusBoxPayPal to get 8% off singles for orders over $5, and links to all of these sponsors are in the description box down below.